Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2024, and today I want to leave you all with a message. It's not your responsibility to do all the heavy lifting in a relationship. It's not your responsibility to carry a conversation in a relationship. It's also not your responsibility to do all the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual labor in a relationship. You know, what sparked this video was I was speaking with somebody, and I realized that during the conversation, there were these occasional lulls where we would kind of just sit there and marinate in this awkwardness. And I felt this responsibility to carry the conversation. The fear was that if I did not carry the conversation, then we would stop speaking, it would be uncomfortable, and ultimately I would lose my motivation to even be around the person. So I felt like I had to carry the conversation in order to make sure that it went to a place that was fulfilling, that was satisfying, because I think I've been in many relationships and many friendships in the past where the exchange was just lackluster, and it caused me to get angry at the other person. It caused me to be very hostile. And I think what was behind that was because I felt like they abandoned me in the conversation. And I felt like I was left to do everything. And that led to an imbalance. And that also, it offended my judicious sentiment. My judicious sentiment in terms of fairness. I felt like it wasn't fair. Why should I be the one to always have to carry the conversation? But at the same time, I assumed that role, and I had to take a step back. I had to reflect on why did I feel the need to carry this conversation. As I mentioned before, there was a fear there. There was a fear that if I didn't do it, it would not get done. And so many of us overperform in our relationships because of this same fear. So many of us overperform in relationships because of the childhood message that we were not enough. And so we had to continue to overperform. We had to continue to produce in order to gain a sense of worth in our relationships. And I'm here to tell you that no, you don't have to be the only one in a relationship doing all the heavy lifting, because that's not fair. That is not fair. And I think a lot of people, they come to rely on you doing this work. And so it gives them an excuse to coast, to fall back, to abandon the relationship, because they know that you're always going to be the one sailing the ship, carrying the friendship, the relationship. You'll always be there to pick up the pieces and give them an out. And here's the thing, as long as you continue to give somebody an out, an excuse not to be present, you enable them to abandon you. You foster your own abandonment when you enable people to get away with giving you less. If they know that they don't have to put forth any effort, if they know that they can get by just on the bare minimum, guess what? That's all you're getting. The bare minimum. And so the thing about it is this: now I learn how to sit in that discomfort. So, for example, in future conversations, when there's a lull in the conversation, I'm going to let that silence just let it be. Let it be. Let that lull happen. Let it be uncomfortable. Because I know that if it's uncomfortable for me, chances are it's uncomfortable for the other person as well. Hopefully so much so that they want to invest in the conversation. And if by chance they choose not to invest, take that mental note, realize that this person does not have the capacity to socialize in a way that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel heard, that makes you feel invested in, that motivates you to also invest in kind. They just don't have the capacity. So it's time for you to launch. It's time for you to move on and look for those people who can actually hold you in a conversation, who can contribute and participate in a conversation, because participation is essential. Too many of us are out here carrying the weight and responsibility that is not ours to carry. We're sitting up here trying to hold on to friendships, hold on to relationships, and we're doing everything. You know, we don't have friends. We don't have friends. We have people who are just getting over. They're just getting over on us. We got people who are expecting us to do the most because they know who we are. They know that we're caring. They know that we are considerate. They know that we are invested. They know our strengths. And sometimes it's sad, but it's true. Even your friendships and your partners, they will exploit your good traits and your good qualities if it means that they have to do less. If it means that they can get away with doing less. They're going to make sure that they take care of their own person themselves. You know, they're going to make sure that they take care of themselves. You have to make sure that you protect your energy, even from family, friends, partners. You have to. Because there are some times when people are looking for a deal. Do not let this escape your grasp, you know? There are some people in your life who claim to love you, but at the same time, they're looking for a deal. They're looking to get away with giving less. And if you allow them to continue to get away with giving you less, guess what? They're going to continue to do it because it means that they're saving their energy, their time, their resources. And so what ends up happening is that they take that time, energy, and resource and they spend it on other people who require more from them. It's not wrong to have requirements. It's not wrong to have standards. And if people are not meeting your standards, you got to take a step back. But I think also there's a fear. There's a fear that should we take a step back, we're going to lose people. We're going to lose people. We are afraid that should we actually stand up for ourselves, should we actually assert our feelings, we're afraid that they're going to leave. And here's the truth. Whenever you don't require somebody to participate in a relationship, they already left you. You know why they already left you? Because you left you. And when you leave you, you make it that much easier for another person to leave you too. And that's the reality. So when you self-abandon by not requiring other people to show up for you, by not holding that expectation, they've already left because you've left. And so the thing about it is you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to make sure that other people invest in you too. And if they don't have the capacity to invest in you, that's fine. But you have to take the necessary action steps to begin to seek those people that can invest in you. Limit your time with people that don't know how to invest in you, that don't know how to carry the conversation, that expect you to make all the plans, that expect you to always make all the phone calls, send all the texts. You know? Once upon a time, I had travel buddies, right? And I would notice that I would always be thrust into the role of being the planner, creating the itinerary. That gets exhausting. I sat them down, let them know how I felt. Of course, there was some him and ha, but ultimately, I got their participation. I got their help. And I also realized, okay, these people value the trip as well. It let me know that they value the trip as well by how much they invested. And so sometimes you just got to take a step back. And that required me, you know, to take a step back. Sometimes the truth is, I missed out on deals, on travel deals, because I was waiting for these people to invest and giving them the space to participate. I realized going forward, I like to do solo travel. I love solo travel because, for one, you jump on deals immediately. You don't wait on other people. Traveling as a single person can be challenging because sometimes you do have to pay a lot more. But at the same time, you pay an aggravation when you're trying to get other people motivated and you're trying to always be the cheerleader. You are depleting your energy reserves. You know, always trying to be the cheerleader, always trying to motivate other people. It's exhausting. And it does a disservice to you and to the people that basically could benefit from your energy. You know, so once again, stop taking responsibility for things that are not yours to take responsibility for. It's not your responsibility to take care of everybody else, to mother everybody else. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that you take care of you and to require that other people invest in you as well as you do them. It's mutual. It's not just you always expecting other people to pour into you. No, you want to make sure that you keep your cup full. And to be honest, it does a disservice to your cup when you constantly pour into other people. Always pouring, and them not pouring back into you. The word for 2024 is reciprocity. Reciprocity. Can you give me what I'm giving you? Can you show up for me the way I'm showing up for you? You know, that's essential. Don't carry the relationship. Stop carrying the relationship. Stop it. Stop carrying the conversations. If people want to be distant, let them be distant. Fill up the space with things that inspire and motivate you. Fill up the space with things that really add to your life. Learn a new skill. Really begin to invest in yourself. That's really important. Stop waiting on other people to build the capacity to hold you. No, begin to do the work it takes to seek out. Begin to do the work it takes to seek out people that want to be in your life and want to participate. Really do that. Because I tell you, it is exhausting. It is exhausting always trying to motivate someone to love you, to care about you. It's kind of like you're holding up a cue card and you're telling them, here, read from this. It's disingenuous. You know, and we are living in a time where real people are becoming extinct. We have a lot of constructs, a lot of Decepticons, a lot of people that claim to be real but are really fake. And so you don't want to help enable that behavior by holding up a cue card, telling them, read this line. No, you want genuine. You want genuine investment. And if you're not going to get genuine investment, guess what? You're going to have to buy out of these relationships. You have to. You have to. And that's part of self-care. That's part of self-love. That's part of respecting your time, your energy, and your resources. You have a lot of people out there waiting for your love. Your love is good love. And there are so many people out there waiting for your good love. But yet and still you are squandering and wasting that good love on people who can't be present for you. It's unfair to you, and it's unfair to the future partners, the future lovers, the future friends that are waiting for your brand of goodness. So please, 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 stop taking responsibility for what isn't yours. Stop setting yourself on fire in order to keep other people warm. Start loving yourself. Start investing in yourself and start encouraging other people to invest in you too. And if they cannot, bow out gracefully, no hard feelings. I get it. You don't have the capacity right now. Okay, I'm going this way. I'm going where the love is. And that's part of loving yourself. And part of going where the love is realizing sometimes the love is always right here. You don't have to go on to another person. Sometimes you just have to come home to you. The love is here. It's always been here. So go back home to you. Treat yourself good. Discern and think about and make a list of all your requirements. And do not deviate from that script. Do not settle for less. Because it's not, I'm here to tell you, it's not wrong to have a standard. Don't let somebody make you feel guilty for having a standard. Don't let someone sit up here and try to talk you out of your standards and out of your requirements. We all have requirements in relationships. Whether people want to acknowledge them or not, we have requirements. They say expectations lead to disappointments. And I understand that, but there's nothing wrong with having requirements, with making sure that people actually show up. We're done carrying the relationship. We're done doing all the heavy lifting. We're done being mules in relationship for love. No. You don't have to suffer for love. You don't. So I hope this video was helpful, and I wish everybody a wonderful 2024. Peace, y'all.